one of the fundamental questions regarding the holiday of Sukkot is why we build these huts to begin with. Why do I have to have my meals in this hut outdoors? And this question is already answered by the Torah. The Torah requires us to build and dwell in the sukkos. Ki besukos hoshafti es b'nei Yisrael. God says that when the Jewish people left Egypt, when they traveled through the desert, they dwelt in sukkos, and this sukkah here commemorates that experience. And the Talmud records a debate as to what exactly does it mean that God had the Jewish people dwell in sukkahs as they left Egypt. One opinion understands it as sukkos mamish, literal huts. The Jewish people dwelt in huts like this, and that's why we build huts to commemorate their experience. And the other opinion says no, that the huts that we build actually represent the Ananei HaKavod, the clouds of glory. The Torah describes as the Jewish people would travel through the desert. They had a cloud that would lead them. There would be clouds around the Jewish people, protecting them from the elements of the desert. Perhaps these two opinions, whether it's the physical sukkahs they built or the clouds of glory, there really isn't a historical debate here. Everyone agrees that the Jewish people had clouds of glory in the desert, and everyone agrees that they built some sort of huts that in order to have privacy, they built their own huts as well. But perhaps the question is, what are we emphasizing as we approach the holiday of Sukkot? The Ananei HaKavod, the clouds of glory, are provided from God. The sukkos mamish, the booths, the huts, are made by man. The debate as to whether our sukkah represents the clouds of glory or the sukkah, the booth that's made by man, represents the two sides of the coin. That in life we have what God provides for us, but also God expects us to be able to take steps as well, and God expects us to provide for ourselves. The opinion that's accepted in halakhic literature is that the sukkah represents the clouds of glory. During this time of year, we don't just think about the day-to-day grind, what we need to do to provide for our lives, but we try to think about God, we try to think about the Almighty and what He gives us and how He provides for us. I wish you all a happy Sukkot and, of course, a wonderful Shabbos.